As the sun rose up for another day in the forest, so did I. It was a really rough night. On top of it being really cold, there were some fellow campers in the campground that were making a lot of noise up until about 3 o'clock in the morning. So, not surprisingly, I was really feeling tired when I got up. It's morning now for our third day. Did not sleep very good again. Very cold. I'm gonna get up and see what's going on in the campground right now. So these guys just up and packed all their stuff up and left this morning. Very early. So I was recording some time lapses this morning. I'm curious how they came out. I'm thinking the batteries died instead of going in the full 3 hours, but kind of expected that. Clip the GoPro onto the gas tank cover. Thankfully on these GoPro 10s, they have that cool mode where you can time it to run on a schedule, so you don't have to stay up and set it or anything like that. You just turn it off and it'll turn itself on and start recording. I'm gonna make some coffee again with the Bialetti. Maybe I'll go say hi to the Fishers, see what they're up to. As I walked across the campground, I could really smell something good cooking, and I found Chris was up making some bacon. Look who decided to get up. How'd you sleep, Savannah?
Not good, my neck is hurting.
Yeah. Neither of us slept very good at all. So, being in bear country here, you know, there are certain rules that you really need to follow, and some of it is even just common sense. But they do post rules around here. But it's amazing the amount of people that we have seen who are leaving their trash out tied to trees overnight. And it's amazing because they leave it right next to their tent. Now, bears have noses that are 7 times more sensitive than a bloodhound. So they can smell your trash and your food and everything from miles and miles away. On top of that, they are familiar with the campgrounds, so they know they can get food here. Apparently, Savannahs can't get into the bear lockers either, so each one's a little different. They get beat up a lot. So keep like food in here, and sometimes coolers too. That's why I got boxes that would fit inside of here.
We're gonna go look at Steven's tent. So, yeah. Okay. Oh my god. There's a hole. He has a headboard. 364.
That's Steven's tent.
Isn't it bougie? There's a desk. Hamlet, pamphlet, Steven's dirty socks. A pool. Okay, so this is pretty bougie, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were gonna get the hammock set up. And then this is a little sink area. It's so bougie.
So making some breakfast. We got some chicken breakfast sausage hitting up and making another pot of coffee. And yeah, just kind of hanging out here. How's your Apple Jacks? So I guess I can take you on a little tour of our campsite setup. It's nothing too complicated, but like I said, I do like my amenities. So here we've got our cooking setup. This is our camp stove. It's small. It's the Ozark Tro one. It's very cheap, like 35 bucks too. And then we've got our grill, which works pretty good too. It's a very small one. Has this simple thing. Running that off the big propane tank, splitting between the two. It's worked great so far. It's like my coffee's almost done. So over here is our camp sink. Right now I am running off of the 5-gallon jug. And I've got the little water pump. And it works good. I'm using this as a sink basin and kind of a wash tub. And then I've actually been using this to dry things. Which has worked okay. This one's just a little too small for running the 5 jug. It splatters too much. You can see I got my soap station going. I have this other jug, I haven't used it yet, but it was another possibility. Just using this to hold the trash bag right now because I don't have a trash bag holder. You know what? It works out okay. You walk over from our kitchen setup and, 10 feet away is our tent entrance. So look up to a nice, beautiful view and beautiful big trees. And it's in this nice little grove of trees here, so no crazy branches to fall down, but nice shade and, not a lot of areas to trip on the guy wires. And then you walk over here and you got our hammock chair sitting by our fire pit. But we haven't used the fire pit at all this trip. So this is like kitchen supplies, like paper plates, bowls, some oil, things like that. Nothing too crazy. Cutting boards, some chip clips, dishwashing supplies. This is our main box. This thing has got just flashlights, paper towels, some cleaning spray, the quick lighters, that kind of stuff. Got our silverware out. And we can sit here or on the other side and enjoy our food. And we've got our coolers. So this cooler's got like our main fridge stuff and some adult drinks. This one's got all kids drinks and some water in it. So this is our campsite. And here's our tent. Now, unfortunately, we may have to take off early and go home today. I got to go back up the hill and talk to Madison, give her a call, where I could get cell phone signal. And then I can find out what our plans are going to be. We didn't sleep very good the last couple of nights. I'm definitely feeling it. It keeps dripping on me. I don't know what's going on. This is what happened to Kylie, too.
It did?
Yeah. The coffee cup did not work.
I'm peeling off the skin off of my sausage.
Let's see. I think you're spinning your wheels, kid.
It's so fun.
I had an accident with my coffee and it spilled all over me, so I'm gonna have to change. Savannah, you finally got your sausage skinned?
Uh-huh. And this is bear food.
That's weird looking. It kind of looks like gyros though, the gyro meat. So even though we're in the forest, brushing teeth is still important, so you need to brush your teeth. About once per day, the forest rangers do show up at the campgrounds. They come to check up on things, collect the payment slips, and make sure campfires are not left unattended. We decided to head off to the Chilao Visitor Center for a couple of hours. But while we were gone, the rangers did kick that rowdy party from the night before out. It was reported that they were escorted down the road, very embarrassed, and law enforcement was called out on them. Chileo is about 9 miles down the road from Buckhorn, or about a 15-minute drive. But Angeles Crest Highway on the weekends can get rather busy. With its windy roads and beautiful landscapes, it really attracts a lot of motorcycle and car enthusiast groups. And they all want to drive way too fast. So we're back at the Chilao Visitor Center, where we came last time to see Smokey the Bear. It's not busy. It's last time. So. You don't want to do it? What, are you not a wilderness explorer now? What are you guys looking at?
We have to guess.
Ah.
I'm gonna say this is another deer.
Yeah,
What's a sheep?
Bighorn sheep.
Oh, bear.
That's what I was gonna guess.
Yeah, black bear. Bear. And that I'm gonna say
Raccoon.
raccoon. Raccoon, yeah. Oh, Stevie.
How about that? See these little bats? And then like the teeth are the real teeth. But anything that would like disintegrate, like they take that out. It's like the eyes, they don't last, so they're fake eyes.
So here, I'll take a picture of all of it.
I'm gonna get it.
And then you can find rocks and compare them. You gotta go over it for a second. 1 second.
Hi, Sadie.
Get that signal on the way down.
Yeah, that.
So the Chileo Visitor Center docent wanted to show us something neat. She put out these peanuts and got some of the local birds to come down and say hi. There were these blue jays and this acorn woodpecker. It was really quite a sight to see. Plus, I was able to capture some really neat video. Terri then took us on a tour of Chileo. It's a much larger campground than Buckhorn with 2 loops and over 80 campsites. Since it's about 1,000 feet lower elevation, it's more arid. There's less shady big trees, the weather's a little warmer, the air's a little drier, and it's full of natural brush, yucca plants, and manzanita trees. She also took us through the Chilao Fire Station, which is part of the campground. There's a lot of infrastructure and live-in staff residents, though due to budget cuts, a lot of them are currently not being used. Terri, where are you going? It says not a through road, Terri. Okay, well, God, it's like off-roading. I hope she knows I'm in a minivan. You know, they didn't take us on this way last time, so I'm not sure people are even staying in them anymore. As the others continued back to the campground, Savannah and I drove to an area we got a cell signal at on the way down. There's so many beautiful overlooks to see on the Angeles Crest that you could probably spend an entire day driving this road and stopping to take in the views. So I was able to get a cell phone signal and call Madison, so we're still talking about it and trying to figure out if we're going to leave today or not. Ultimately, we decided to stick to our original plan and stay one more night. So we flew the drone around a little bit and then headed back to camp so we could rest and make some lunch. We're having our lunch. Hamburgers and chips, and Samantha got hot dogs. Are we playing Connect 4? Let's see here. So we're playing some games, just hanging out. Everyone left to go get firewood, so it's just me and Chris and Savannah. Playing games and hanging out under the big trees. They got wood!
More wood!
Hi, Sadie. I heard you got wood!
Alright, put it down your hands.
As the night began to fall, we sat down to enjoy a campfire with Terri's new firewood. Krystin returned from dropping Abby off and brought some pizza back up the hill. There's nothing quite like surrounding a fire with good friends, great conversations, and plenty of laughs. As long as you manage not to lose the hair on your legs.
If there was no oxygen in there, we'd get on fire!
Good morning, everyone. This is our final morning here. Today we're going to be taking off. I am making some coffee. This BLID is really come in handy on this trip. Guess there's nothing quite like being able to cook out here in the wilderness. I mean, look around me. Isn't this amazing?
It's a lot different than like your barbecue outside in your backyard, because your backyard doesn't, most people's backyards don't look like this. Morning, Savannah.
Tired, I want to go home.
I'm just staying asleep.
I couldn't.
You're tired. So everyone's starting to slowly pack up, and we're getting our morning moving with coffee and hot chocolate, all that good stuff. We'll start packing up soon too. I don't want to be here all afternoon. So now we're getting ready to take our campsite down. Of course, we have to do this systematically. So whatever came in last has to go out first. So I put all my electronics in, like cables, charging cables, all that stuff's going inside of this guy. And then this carries the other GoPros. I have a GoPro 8, I have two GoPro 10s, so this guy is going in my car and it clips on. Makes it real easy to just shoot the road or turn it around and shoot me. So then we're putting away this other stuff. So I have my camera here still. The bag's in the car, so it's gonna go there. This is the battery for it. Another hard drive. It's gonna go into, mainly everything ends up in the backpack. So do both of these boxes. And then I have a Nintendo Switch that we brought for Savannah. She played it a little bit. So brought this big blue one, and it's almost full. I mean, anything that needs to be washed is gonna go in it. So I guess now we gotta start doing the bedding. So first things first, going to fold up these blankets, which are getting pretty dirty. So after our last trip, I said, there's gotta be a better way to do these sleeping bags, and I started looking up, how do you fold the sleeping bag, put it back in its bag? Turns out you don't roll it. You stuff it in its stuff sack. That's why it's called a stuff sack. Who would have known? Isn't YouTube a fantastic place? You get to learn so many different things about how to do stuff. I think that's part of the beauty of the YouTube. There's a lot of trash on there too, but yeah. All right, well, the bedding part is done. Now I can just collapse the bed down, and the inside of the tent's pretty much done. Before we take down our tent, we're having a little lunch. And then we're gonna pack the car up and head on back home. It's always bittersweet as our time comes to an end. Buckhorn is such a magical place, surrounded by these ancient, big trees. They have stood the test of time for hundreds and even some thousands of years. The beauty that they hold with their moss-covered trunks, reaching so high that you can't even see the tops. Thinking about the stories they could tell, the lives that they have lived. Oh, the secrets they could whisper. It's beautiful. This place is a sanctuary. A place to reconnect. To ground ourselves back to nature. So just as a little update. I did take the tent down from fully set up to in its bag, fully put away. It took just over 18 minutes, about 18 minutes and 16 seconds. So not bad. Probably took me 10 minutes to get my other tent down. So, you know, if you had an extra set of hands, probably go even faster, because half of that was walking around picking up those spikes. All right.
Just as we were packing up our cars to get going, Savannah and I came running over, wanting to show us something. They had been off looking for lizards.
That is a rattlesnake, you dummy.
What they had found was a 4-foot-long western diamondback rattlesnake, one of the numerous wildlife that lives in the area. We left it alone, and it left us alone.
Well, that is pretty much our camping trip. Right, Savannah?
Yeah.
So, that was a lot of fun. Let's see, we did 4 days and 3 nights. So, wasn't bad. Very surprising to me that I am not in like desperate need of a shower. Because I often get that way. After just 1 day. So, I guess I'm doing okay. Now we just have to work our way down the hill back home. And go back into civilization. Alright, well, we will see you down the hill on the next one here.
As we head down the mountain, we're reminded of just how fortunate we are to have such a beautiful place to call our backyard. We leave the National Forest with a renewed sense to protect and preserve this natural wilderness for all future generations.